Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today I have the pleasure to present you two beautiful creations from the master perfumer Pierre Bourdon. I have here one of his creations for Creed, and it is original Santal. So I have here an original sample, and I also purchased, in order to compare, a sample of Montblanc Individuel. So I'll have original Santal and Montblanc Individuel because I was always curious if it's worth it to pay 10 times more for an original Santal and not just go with the Montblanc Individuel. After all, how big of a difference can it be between them? So if you would like to know my opinion about these two perfumes and if it's such a big difference between them, then please stay tuned. So I will first start with the Montblanc Individuel, which is the scent that also came first on the market in 2003. The perfumer behind it is, like I said, Pierre Bourdon, which he created most of the Creed scents, according to the Ghost Perfumer by Gabe Oppenheimer. Like many of you on forums or on videos, I asked myself if it's worth paying 10 times more and get a Creed just because it says Creed on the bottle, and not just go with the Montblanc Individuel. After all, it's the same perfumer, the notes are similar. What can be so different between them? The scent is sweet, fruity. As we know, Montblanc is creating very nice scents like the Explorer, which is kind of a good replacement for Aventus, like Individuel here, and many others like Legend Spirit for men, and for women Signature, which is slightly similar to Musk Therapy from Initio. My wife has the Signature, and I can tell you that that is a very beautiful and affordable release from Montblanc. So now I'm gonna spray the Montblanc Individual on a strip. I already tested it before, but now I'm gonna refresh my memory with it. And I can tell you that there are a ton of notes. I cannot summarize now all the notes for these perfumes because they are so many, but a few of them I will mention. It has this very nice washed white linens, washing conditioner type of nuance. So when you spray this, it's like some nicely ironed white shirt which had conditioner used in the washing process before. You'll have top notes like bergamot, coriander, lavender. The lavender is very powerful. Mint, rosemary, juniper, berry, cinnamon in top notes. So it's very complex. It has many nice notes, and in hard notes you'll have geranium, jasmine, orange blossom, violet, and in base notes you'll have amber, dark chocolate, oak moss, raspberry, sandalwood, tonka bean, vanilla, vetiver, and as you can see, it has a ton of notes. So for me, I have smelled this on the skin, I have smelled it on the paper strip. For me, this smell is nice, clean, sweet, but a bit too sweet. So I like the character of this scent DNA, and I think it's very nice. And as a first perfume for someone just starting in this perfume world, and if you have tried it in a perfumery and the notes speak to you and you think the character of this scent is something you like, then it's totally recommended to go with it, because it will cost you 25 to 30 euro for 75, I don't know for sure, but you get a lot of perfume for not a lot of money. And the smell is really nice, this clean white sheets, beautiful smell, which is airy, which is easy to use in the summer, is easy to use in the winter, in the autumn. So like it's very versatile. So that's the Montblanc Individuel, which was created in 2003. It's pleasant, it's nice. So I'm gonna put this on the side, and I will now take the Creed out and test the Creed and then see what is the difference between them. Original Santal sample from Creed has a light nuance. See, it's yellow reddish. It's not blue like the one from Montblanc Individuel. So let's see how is this one. The Creed samples are really nice. I like how they spray the scent. You can really appreciate it. So this has been released in 2005. So the Montblanc Individuel is described as a sweet, fruity scent, and the original Santal is described as a woody, spicy scent. So it's the same perfumer making the original Santal 2 years later, but they have some similarities, and people, like I said, compare them on forums, on YouTube, and some of them even say, why pay more if you can get the same thing for less. So I sprayed it here. I'm gonna go through the notes with you a bit to tell you what the Creed has compared to the Montblanc. So you'll have orange tree absolute, ginger and lemon as top notes. Hard notes you'll have lavender, peppermint, rosemary and pink pepper. In base notes you'll have Mysore sandalwood, cedar, vanilla, benzoin from siam, ambergris and musk. So on the left I have the Creed, on the right I have the Montblanc. Yeah, so they have similarities, but they are not identical. I can tell you that. The Montblanc is louder, is sweeter, is kind of something for someone who likes loud perfumes, who likes to announce his or her presence. And the Creed has a certain understated nuance which I like more. So from just spraying them and smelling them, or initially, I can tell you that the Creed is the nicer perfume in here. And I'm not saying this just to justify the Creed higher price. It's a matter of scent. Even if I wouldn't know which is which, I would go with the Creed smell. So the Creed is slightly understated, and that's something that I like more. And it has a bit of a woody character. It's not so sweet like the Montblanc. Yes, it will also smell a bit like clothes conditioner, which you then iron. So you iron the sheets or iron maybe the shirt, and then you have this clean white linens smell, which they both have it very nicely. In the first spray, when you first spray, they are quite different. So the Montblanc is slightly sweeter and slightly louder, and the Creed is a bit more understated and seems to be the better perfume between them two. But after like 5 minutes in dry down, they start to smell very similar. And they have a similarity in terms of these white clean sheets, which I hope I will not use too much. So the Montblanc Individuel has a certain sweetness and loudness which I don't really like so much. I already applied this on my skin at some point, and I didn't like it very much how it evolves. Originally it starts nice, but then somehow becomes too sweet for my taste. I think the raspberry maybe becomes too strong, and it's kind of like clean sheets with a raspberry note. Or so what's my impression after smelling them and testing them one next to the other is that the Montblanc Individuel is very, very close to the original Santal from Creed. For someone who is not very particular into kind of differentiating notes or differentiating nuances of the scent DNA, I think you could care less if it comes from Creed or if it comes from Montblanc, as long as it has this beautiful white, clean, washed clothes character which you iron, and with this heat it becomes this beautiful sweet aromatic smell, let's call it this way. So the Montblanc Individuel smells very nice and very close to the Creed. This one here with the rest of the notes, somehow they don't work too well for me. The Creed is more woody rather than sweet, and it also keeps this beautiful character of the clean white sheets or clean shirts. And I like very much the fact that Creed is a bit understated, And if you like to dress well, if you have a suit all the time and you go into meetings with your business partners, with your team, with your staff, I think the understated character of the Creed smell and this nice complexity that the Creed has, it's slightly nicer and more suited for office wear rather than the Montblanc Individuel. So the Montblanc Individuel also has a certain similarity with Youp Homme, which is also a Pierre Bourdon creation, and that one is extremely sweet and I don't like very much. So like if you would be able to make a categorization for the smells, it's like the extremely sweet, hard to like is the Youp Homme. Then you have the Montblanc Individuel in the middle, which is slightly less sweet than the Youp, but still too playful to be taken seriously. And then you have the third one, which is the original Santal from Creed, which has a very professional and nice character. And even if they share a few similarities between all the three of them through this beautiful sandalwood, Creed are claiming that they are using Mysore sandalwood, which I know is the most expensive you can find on the market. If that's true or not, I don't know, but most likely if it would be true, then the perfume should cost even more, because it's like with wood perfumes. If you use natural wood, then they will cost a lot. If you use synthetic wood, they will cost not so much. But from the three sandalwood based perfumes, I like very much the Creed. If I would be on the market to purchase such a scent, I would rather put money aside for a while or look for an offer and purchase the Creed instead of the Montblanc Individuel, because I can tell you something, it's basically full. I have tested it on a strip. I wore it on the skin a bit to see how it is. I said, no, it's not for me. So I put it down in the box and there it was. Look at the Creed sample. I have this Creed sample since a while. Here there were 2 milliliters, now it's just 1. I am using this a lot. I know that I have said that I am done with Creeds and I don't want to purchase any more. But this is a Pierre Bourdon release. It's officially Pierre Bourdon. They didn't say that it has been created by the Creed family. This is a 20 batch, so K4120K01N, and this is lasting a lot of time. So I spray it in the morning, up in the afternoon it's still there, smelling very nice. So between the original Santal and the Montblanc Individuel, I would get the Creed, even if it's more expensive. If I could get a nice offer somewhere, or even a used bottle either on Parfumo or like on eBay and so on, from a 20, maybe 19 batch, then I would get this one. But that just because for me it smells a bit understated and it's a bit different compared to the Montblanc Individuel. If you're a person who just wants to have something nice and clean and fresh, and you don't care so much about these subtle differences between them two, I think with the Montblanc Individuel you'll be just fine and enjoy it. What matters the most is that you don't have 100 perfumes in the drawer and you will never reach out for the Montblanc Individuel. If you have just a few, just get the Montblanc Individuel, wear it, enjoy it, and don't care so much about the subtle notes about them. So this is my summary for these two beautiful scents. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please let me know which one is your favorite and why. And I hope to see you soon on the channel again. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.